If Amazon not turning a profit for the first time since 2014 isn't a red flag, I don't know what is. Okay, more of a comment. I don't know if that's a question, but yeah, I think you could say Amazon is a proxy or one of the proxy, a pretty good proxy for the overall economy as far as aggregate demand on the consumer side. And I didn't know that this is the first time they haven't turned a profit, but if they haven't, yeah, I mean, the main thing that would come to my mind, or the first thing that would come to my mind, is the bullwhip effect. I don't know if you guys saw the whiteboard video I did where I was discussing this at great length. But in 2019 or 2020, prior to the cerveza sickness, Amazon had about 800,000 employees. Fast forward to the end of 2022, and they had 1.6 million. 1.6. Now, I get it. Everyone's going online. They're the largest retailer. Consumer spending has made a big change, but doubling your workforce in basically 2 years as a result of a lot of aggregate demand that was just a sugar rush from all the stimmy checks, PPP, mortgage forbearance, don't have to pay your student loan, etc. And it's not like these people at Amazon were neck deep in macroeconomics. They just see all this additional demand and they think it's going to last forever. So I'm not saying that they would not have hired additional people if it weren't for the fiscal sugar rush. But I am saying they most likely would not have hired 800,000 people. Let's just assume that they would have hired 300,000. Okay, now you're at 1.1 million, but you've still got 500,000 employees too many. So it doesn't surprise me at all with that kind of overhead from a standpoint of your payroll. They're not turning a profit. So what do they have to do? They have to fire people, fire more people, fire more people. And if they're a proxy, I think it's only a matter of time before you see other companies, not just in the, I don't know if you want to call them tech, but not just companies on the NASDAQ, but even your mom and pa restaurant or barbershop, dry cleaner, having to do the same thing. And I think it'll sneak up on people. One of the things I'm always amazed by is how the market sucks in as many people as it possibly can and then rips their head off. It's almost like the market is a live entity that just desires to crush as many investors as possible. So when you call it a month, 2 months ago, everyone was on the recession bandwagon, including me. You guys know that. I've been talking about that since the yield curve inverted, but I didn't know when the timing. But everybody, even in the mainstream media, was talking about that. And then you just got that sick feeling in your stomach. I'm sure you guys know what I'm talking about, where you believe there's going to be a recession, but now you turn on the TV and everyone agrees with you. And all the people that you really don't like are agreeing with you. And you're like, whoa, wait a minute here. Maybe there's something I'm not seeing. And I was right there with you. And I think probably what I wasn't seeing is when everyone was on that side of the boat, the recession side of the boat, you're not likely going to have a recession, or it's not going to show up in the numbers until everyone gets back over onto there's no way we're going to have a recession boat. So, or side of the boat. So you look at Friday's jobs numbers that are just completely blowout numbers. They're expecting like 187 and they got like 564, some close to that. I don't know what it was right off the top of my head. So I think that's kind of the first step. And I would assume that over the next 2 or 3 months, or maybe the next month or two, we're going to be getting a lot more kind of quote unquote good news. And the Fed's going to continue. It's going to make them raise another 25, or who knows if they get to 5 or if they stay at 4.75, which was kind of the high water mark for the 2-year, which is significant. But I think we're going to need to get some more, as much good news as we need to get everyone from in the mainstream media from the recession side of the boat onto there's no way in heck we're going to have a recession. And then that's when the market says, aha, I see a rug. I'm going to go ahead and pull it out as fast as I possibly can. And that's probably what the yield curve has been predicting. The timing of this, who knows? I mean, I've been talking about this for 9 months since the 2-year inverted with the 10-year. And then you got the 1-year inverted, then the 6-month inverted, then the 3-month, and the 1 month, then reverse repo inverted with the 10-year. Now you've got Fed funds at what, 4.5%, and you've got the 10-year trading at 3.5. And every single time the Fed raises rates, what does the 10-year do? Nada. If not go down. So it's hard for me to buy the bond market being wrong, but yet it's also hard for me to buy that we're going to have a recession when everyone thinks we're going to have a recession. So 2 or 3 months ago, when I was kind of getting this wrong, if you want to say that, I thought, the bond market is just so powerful. Maybe this time it's a little different. When everyone's on the recession side of the boat, we'll actually have one. But no, I was wrong. Absolutely not. I think that is one of the number one indicators, number one tools that you have to add to your bag of tricks when it comes to investing, is just, no matter how much you got to hold your nose, because we're going to have a recession, or whatever your fundamentals are telling you, sometimes you've got to just say, because everyone's on this side of the boat, I've got to just stay in dry powder, or I understand that this is going to happen, but it's not going to happen in the near future, even though I think it will, even though every single bone in my body is telling me that we should be having a recession right now. If everyone else is it, I've got to be wrong. Now, every once in a while, everyone's going to be on the right side of the boat, but I think that's going to be rare. Let's just say 1 out of 10 times. And if you make those types of investments, or if you make investments around that, I think you're going to be right a lot more than you're wrong. But yeah, it goes back to Amazon. I mean, we see just Amazon, we see Google, we see Facebook, we see all of these companies. They're layoff here, layoff. And all of a sudden, the jobs numbers are 500,000 when they're expecting 150. And you're sitting there scratching your head, and then the household shows an additional like 84,000 compared to the headline number. So I don't know. That's just kind of my thinking over the weekend, is we're most likely going to get maybe a month or two more of quote unquote good news before the market, Mr. Market, is comfortable enough, thinks he's going to create enough investor pain to go ahead and rip that rug right out from under everyone. And that's when you get the acknowledgement of the recession, which will most likely have to come with a significant increase in the unemployment rate.